Hello, everybody. This is Janice, and
this is John, and we're
you're
watching Crypto Benelux.
So, welcome you both of you. It took me a lot of time to get you on the show because it's not that easy anymore to reach out to you guys, is it?
no, it's not.
No.
It's not. I don't think it really has ever been, actually.
Been what?
Easy to reach us.
No, it's not. It's not easy. It's not easy.
So now finally you are here, both of you. Well, in the Dutch community, like I told Janice also in the mail already, you are like famous. The cryptosiasts here are like, seeing you as the first pioneers who made it possible to show it to the man at home. So now we're gonna ask all the things about you, of course. And let's start with the both of you. John, I saw in other interviews you started with your interest in crypto and Bitcoin in 2015, right?
We started.
2015, your interest in Bitcoin.
No, not really. No, it was about 2012, where an ex-employee of mine had visited me in Belize and talked about he was mining Bitcoin, and he introduced me to the entire community.
Nice. And Janice a little bit later.
Yeah, a lot later. Mine's about 2017 when I finally bought a Bitcoin, and I still have it.
Why was John keeping it secret for you all the time?
You know what? He wasn't. I was just kind of sitting on the outside, kind of learning. I was, I wanted to learn for myself what exactly this was and the risk that I was willing to take, because this is my money. You know what I'm saying? It's not his money, it's mine. So I wanted to make a relatively safe investment. So that's what I did.
Yeah. So maybe we can hear all about it because everybody got some favorites, right?
Yes.
And now we are living in the late 2019s, and you've started like the team McAfee Crypto. Can you tell us all about it? Because I saw a lot of partnerships. I saw a lot of involvements of other crypto companies. So
Team McAfee is it's a varying group of people depending upon what my focus is. And there's some members of Team McAfee who have been with Team McAfee for over 3 years. Others are new, others are temporary. Currently, Team McAfee has grown a bit. I'm working on a distributed exchange. We actually have released it in the beta version, McAfeeDex.com.
Yes.
And my goal is to provide to the people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not to the governments, but to the people, something to give them power against the pyramidal power structure that exists in the world. The problem with all decentralized exchanges, decentralized meaning no one's in control, is that you don't have to give your name, your address, nothing. And we don't want to know who you are, actually. We're providing a service. And we don't know who you are. We don't control it. You hand us no monies, no token, nothing. It's all between you and one other person. It's a peer-to-peer transaction.
And there's really a necessary need of DEXs at the moment, huh?
I'm sorry?
There's really a need for DEXs now at this moment.
There's really a need for it.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
If we don't have DEXs, we're going to lose as people. Governments are going to shut down the centralized exchanges, or the centralized exchanges are going to have to walk in march step with the governments. Well, that's not good for us either way. The problem with the centralized exchanges is not the technology, it's the fact that since nobody knows who you are and there's no information, there's no way to get fiat currency in and out of a decentralized exchange. If you want your fiat, you've got to take whatever and go to a centralized exchange to get your fiat. Well, by then, the government's now in control. So I'm looking down the road of a year, 2 years, maybe 3, where fiat currency is diminishing in its necessity. Right now, Go online and try it. There are real estate companies that sell houses for Monero and Bitcoin and Ethereum and others. Cars, all kinds of cars. Janice bought a 1958 Corvette.
A Corvette, nice.
Yes, a 1958 classic Corvette, beautiful fucking condition, pristine, with crypto.
Yes.
Houses with crypto.
Nice houses, like mansions.
Really, mansions, and not just normal houses. You can buy any. So you can already buy half of what you need with crypto. Soon, you're going to be able to buy almost anything. So the problem is still going to remain. The crypto market is volatile and will be so for the foreseeable future. We now have stable coins, so like DAI. DAI never, I mean, I use it all the time, never varies more than 1% from the US dollar. It can't.
DAI is
smart contract. It's all smart contracts.
Yeah.
It can't vary. And it's got huge volume. So we have DAI on our exchange. We chose specifically to go with the Ethereum blockchain first.
Yeah.
We're adding Tron, by the way, in 2 weeks. By the end of the we'll have Binance, EOS, Neo, and others. But we specifically chose Ethereum to go out with because it had DAI. All right?
DAI.
Right? So you can go on to the McAfeeDex and you can convert your Ethereum into DAI or any number of almost 1,000 different coins into DAI. Why is that important? Because if the crypto market is volatile and oh my God, it's going to go down, or I don't know, I just want some security, convert your stuff into DAI and wait. It doesn't matter if the crypto market crashes to near zero. Your DAI is always going to be worth $1.
Yeah.
So what I would like to see is not just DAI. I hope others come. DAI is just the most stable of the stable coins.
The most decentralized also, in my opinion.
The most decentralized.
Yeah, and the most is, yes. So what I want to see is a world where we don't flee to fiat currencies, but we flee to a stable coin.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
I understand.
And so at some point, why on earth do you need fiat? I mean,
exactly.
if you've got a stable currency, and even if the crypto market has gone south for 5 years, you still got a stable currency, which you were smart enough to get into instead of getting out into dollars or euros or whatever.
Yeah.
So this is my dream. This is my vision. And if we can all agree that this is where we want to be, and in a completely decentralized environment where I don't control anything. I don't control McAfeeDex. I don't collect any monies. I don't know who you are. If you want to list a new token, press add new token. Okay. And it adds. I mean, it's a 2-minute job. You do it yourself. I don't do it. Already hundreds of new tokens have been added to the McAfeeDex. Probably 99.9% are worthless, but still, I mean, do it. It's your.
And that's the most beautiful part of decentralization. Nobody decides.
Yes, I mean, you know, if it's decentralized, then it's decentralized. We have no control, even on listing, right? We don't know who you are, where you are, why you are. We don't give a shit. This is for you people, okay?
Yeah.
This is your portal into the world of exchange, and we have to have exchange if we're going to have viable crypto. So this is your portal into the world. We already have 10 portals up. So if the government shuts down McAfeeDex.com, nobody gives a shit. We've got 9 others, and soon we'll have 100. And within 6 months, I think we'll have 1,000. And you try shutting that motherfucker down.
Oh, it's not possible. I checked the McAfeeDex already, and MyCryptoSpirit.com has proven to me that they are going to distribute 3 times a half of ETH to people who actually use the McAfeeDex to try it themselves. So read our socials, and they are appearing now in the screen, how to get involved with the McAfeeDex and how you can take part in this giveaway. The McAfeeDex, I was seeing that you are going to other platforms also, like you mentioned Tron already. I saw EOS, and they are not cross-chains. Can you explain that?
I'm sorry?
They're not cross-chained. They're not cross-chained.
No, we won't have we will not have cross chains until the second quarter of 2020.
All right.
Cross chains is not easy. No one's done it yet. You understand that?
Yeah.
But we are now in the at least no one's done it on a truly decentralized distributed exchange. We will be the first, I think. Cross chains is difficult, but we have to add the chains first before we can do the cross chains, okay? So, and that is a technological, it's a mountain climb in development, to be honest with you. It's not a trivial thing. So when we get enough chains, which is the second quarter of next year, we will begin the cross-chain transactions. Then we're going to be exactly like Binance, only no listing fees, information required. You know, one of the problems we're having now is speed. We know we have a speed problem. It's fixable, and we are fixing it, okay? None of the problems that we're coming up against or will come up against are insoluble. They merely take time.
Yes.
And my apologies to anybody who wants the entire thing here and now. It's just not possible.
No, but you see it everywhere, you know. The most projects are still building. We don't have to expect a finished product in like a week or something. Well,
no, absolutely.
People expect it already, but
and actually, what we have is very functional. I mean, because there are thousands of ERC20 tokens, and all the way up to ERC 1440. I mean, there are tokens, and all of them are supported on the exchange. So it's functional, but it will become truly functional second quarter next year, when you're not going to be able to tell the difference between the McAfeeDex and the Binance centralized exchange, and then the world will change.
It will change, but also now we know already a good DAX, so a good decentralized exchange, is at the moment a pain in the ass by regulators. Did you receive
a pain in the ass to what now?
To regulators.
Oh, duh. Yes, of course they're a pain in the ass. Because how can you regulate the unregulatable? That's the problem.
Yeah.
You can't possibly regulate or shut down something which is both distributed and so here's another reason I don't want to know anything about my customers. People go, know your customers. You must have the KYC. You have to have the anti-money laundering.
Yeah.
But no, I don't have any of that. Nothing. And the reason I don't is when the SEC bangs on my door, I'll go, God, you know what? I made a mistake. When I put that on the blockchain, it never occurred to me that you people might want access to it. God, I'm so sorry. However, too fucking late now. I mean, it's on the blockchain.
Yeah.
It is an immutable, forever piece of software on in terms of smart contracts. That's a software on the blockchain that I can't take off, people. I'm sorry. I wish I could help you. I'll tell you what I will do, though, SEC. Let me build another exchange just for you, and then you can monitor that. All right.
Yeah. So, how you think the regulations will look like later on, the next few years?
I think they will be ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous now because they don't understand the technology. They don't understand what they're talking about. We're talking about politicians and people who've been in power for many decades, and
Yeah.
but they can barely send a text message, or they
That
have
is true.
someone else tweet for
See,
them.
this is the problem. The other problem is that for the first time in 75 years, we have a world-changing technology that did not come from a covert government program or Apple.
No.
Or Microsoft or General Electric or Samsung or anybody. It came from the people. Now, we may not like the people. And by the way, you know, I keep dissing Craig Wright. He was definitely involved. There is no fucking question. But he's not Satoshi. Satoshi is the person who wrote the goddamn white paper, all right?
Yeah,
now,
not the one who is reading it.
Get some authoring software and compare that, because every one of the people involved wrote technical papers. Do a compare and you'll find out who Satoshi is. It's not important, all right? What's important is none of the people involved were with the corporations. I mean, this was a group effort of the people. And the blockchain popped out. And it started back in 1985. This is not some new thing. It started with a paper in 1985, written by Dr. God, what is his name? One of the founders. Okay, but that was the first paper discussing hashing and the potential cryptocurrency, or they didn't call it crypto, a potential electronic currency. Now, this is our technology, people.
Yes, absolutely.
This belongs to us. We don't have to buy it from some covert agency or beg for it or wait for 30 years when they decide to release that they've had it for 30 years. No, it's ours. It's ours. And it has to stay ours.
It has to stay like this.
Sorry. I'm sorry?
Yes.
So I wrote one time that you told on social media, I guess, that you know or have an idea who is really Satoshi.
Of course I do, yes, but Satoshi doesn't want to reveal himself, and so that's his business.
Yes, okay.
But listen, if you want to know who Satoshi is...
No, basically, I don't want to know, because I think...
Get some authoring software, run that software against the Satoshi white paper and all the papers that were written by all the people involved and published, and you will find out immediately. It's a trivial problem, people. Good God, all right?
And nobody ever saw it yet. Oh, actually, I don't think we want to know. But
well, it doesn't matter. Who cares?
Yes, but that's definitely not correct.
The identity of Satoshi is not the identity of the creators of Bitcoin. All right, it's two people. Really, it's the writer and an editor, and you can tell which is which. Listen, okay. If you've read the white paper, you will have noticed some oddities. Number one, all of the spelling of words that have different spellings between American and British are British spelled. Number two, a very small minority of people put two spaces after a period. Most people put one. Every single sentence in the white paper has two spaces after it. I mean, these are just two identifiers out of thousands in that paper. Well, go read somebody's paper. I've already told you enough to identify who he is.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
You know,
he's British. He's British. That's number one. How many of those people are British? Two. All right. Of those two people, which of them put two spaces after a fucking period? All right. It's that simple, people. All right.
All right. Yes, I understand. I totally I don't understand why people didn't take a look earlier at it. You know, that kind of details are important, of course.
Yeah.
So now, John, you've been around here a while, and you see like the space evolving time by time, like blockchain.
I'm sorry?
You see this space evolving time and time.
Yes, of course. Well,
now we are reaching blockchain 3.0, so they call it. What do you expect in the future? Because now we have like the smart contracts, the Ethereum side of blockchains, the non-fungible tokens are coming, for example. What do we expect for the future? How big is the space going to evolve further?
Well, I mean, I think the future of the blockchain is going to be equivalent to the future of computing itself, which was invented in the late 1940s and perfected in the 60s for the first IBM business computer, the IBM 360. Okay, that you could be a business and buy one. Now, it took you 500 programmers to write a routine to take a square root. Still, it was a computer. Okay, I'm exaggerating. It was, you didn't have high-level languages. There was no Fortran. There was no C++. There was nothing but switches on the front of the panel. All right, and these switches were actual machine instructions. Branch unconditionally to here, or branch if A is less than B to there, or add registers A and registers B. That was it.
Yeah.
I mean, we had no computer screens. I was here. I was there. I lifted this. I programmed the 360 using a front panel in machine instructions. So I know what I'm talking about here. Now, none of this stuff. We didn't have CRT screens, keyboards. No one had possibly envisioned something so profoundly changing in the computer world. The first major change came in 1964, I think, with punch cards. You could actually punch the cards, and instead of going to the front fucking panel, okay, and throw the switches, and you were always wrong, okay, it took 3 days, right, okay, throwing the switches, punch it out on cards, run those cards through a net was your program in machine instructions, all right?
Yes, I understand.
So it was not until, good God, the early 80s, no, the late 70s, that we had CRT screens, all right? But even then, they were these little things with all the, there's no images, there was nothing but alphabet and numeric characters. So it's changed into the fact that I can now talk to you and see you.
Yeah.
I don't even know where the fuck you are and still talking to you.
Yeah.
The blockchain is going to be the same fucking thing. We're in the 1950s in the blockchain in comparison to the computer. And what it will create, fuck me, I can't. And neither can anybody.
I'm surprised.
I just know that this will grow faster than computer technology grew.
Yeah, I'm surprised day by day, actually, if I see projects involved with new techniques, involving, like a DEX, for example. It's a bunch of technique. People don't realize it, but you can't build a DEX like, oh, we fork just an exchange existing out there, no? I understand that building a DEX, it takes so much time and knowledge to keep it
It's not easy. It's not easy. It's a lot of brute force, is what it is. It's not that much subtle and sophisticated technology as, good God, it's just brute force.
So now I want to focus on Janice again, because she is quite young in the space, like me. I started in the 17s also. Janice, do you have a portfolio? You don't have to mention the names of the coins, but do you have a portfolio at the moment?
I wouldn't call it a portfolio. I have coins that I'm invested in, but I guess a small portfolio, yes.
All right, and what are the targets you're looking at by projects before you invested? Is it like some kind of techniques you are happy with, or?
You mentioned a bucket.
Well, no, I was going to.
Oh.
But, yes, so I'm invested in Docademic, sorry, and it's a medical coin. And it has both the medical side as well as the psychology side. So you can have a therapist, or you just press the button and you pay your token. I think the first time is free. But it's just the technology of the future, something that will be will have a long lasting effect. So we need better healthcare. And so
absolutely.
I just felt it was a good investment, because we're going to have a change where we'll be using this sort of digital money for going to the doctors and things. And so I just thought it'd be a good investment for a long term.
Yes, and if they can actually make it through, then it will be a world-changing product. And so you keep looking at the human kind of manner in
yes, and also the team that's behind the project. If they're working like diligently, working hard, trying to push their project forward.
Yeah,
that's the thing that I look for as well, because there's a lot of people that have a lot of great ideas in this space, and it sounds good, and you know, once they get going, I just need this investment, and then they're chugging along, and then they hit the roadblock, and then they're just, you know, they're just out, you know, because they've got whatever money to get a, you know, whatever Lambo or whatever else. You know, I like to find people that are invested, that love the project that they're working on, because that love will show in the project.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with the McAfeeDex, because you don't really have to do it.
Yes.
Like, yeah, to be honest, I'll think if you guys have like, okay, we don't do anything in our lives anymore, it's fine also. But it's the commitment with the space and the love for the tech and the people around it. We will change something. And you're a man with a mission, huh, John?
Yes, he
really
is.
A man with a mission.
I have a mission.
Yes.
Yes.
And
I have a mission. And let me mention that Janice mentioned academic. Okay, if you look at life around you and business around you now, what are the most successful companies? Well, the medical companies. I don't know why. The medical chemistry companies that put out the pills for whatever. Bayer and Merck and others, they're rolling in money. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, even the caregivers, the doctors and neurosurgeons, good God, they make billions of dollars a year. And so it's not going to be any different in the crypto world. And Docademic, for example, right now I can take my Docademic app and push the cool emotions button. And if I were standing on a bridge going, I'm you know, my wife left me the dog and the money, the guy will go, well, I tell you what, why don't you step down from the bridge for a minute and let's chat. That actually has happened with Docademic. I mean, good God Almighty. This is one of the things that the blockchain is creating.
Yeah.
Do you understand the power of this? You know, you might yourself, you know, download the Docademic app into Android app, whatever you have, iPhone.
Currently.
And it's iPhone, really? I didn't know anybody still used those. You realize that that's a closed system.
Yeah.
That is the epitome of pyramidal power, and it can succeed. IBM proved that with the creation of the PC and made it an open architecture. Android, an open architecture. It's like open source.
Yeah.
Right? Apple is not. And iPhone is 20 years behind. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm taking time about your phone.
It's actually my
I just feel obligated to educate people.
It's a hot button.
It's a hot button. Why don't you take a friend's Samsung S9 or S10? Take a photograph of anything with the highest priced iPhone. It's going to look like trash compared to what comes out of the Samsung. This is what happens. Closed technologies deteriorate, open technologies flourish. And I'll leave it at that. Next question.
Next question.
To Janice anyway, okay?
All right, we're going to take some quotes from the community, because we all know you are famous by some tweets. I'm not going to ask you about the Bitcoin bet. Some million people before me ask you that already. So I'm going to ask the question to Janice. Janice, did John discuss his Bitcoin bet with you before placing it?
No, he didn't.
Okay, so he never came to you like, Janice, okay, I'm totally agreeing John here, because I'll think also it can happen, you know? I'll think the odds are in his favor. But if I'll go to my wife, for example, and I tell her afterwards, oh yeah, I made a bet, but there is a small chance I lose. But if I lose, then yeah, so things will be different in the bedroom. We didn't discuss it.
No, he did not get my approval first.
All right. Well,
but I think I agree with his prediction. I don't put a time limit. I don't put a time frame on it because it's so volatile. We don't really know. But you know, I would assume that he has more inside information than I have about it. But I think for sure it will get there. But I'm just not sure on the timing of when.
Yeah. For my feeling, the markets are getting suppressed at the moment. Some big powers are holding it at the current levels. Mm-hmm. We should have seen already the positivity, like look at the involvement, look at the buildings, look at the projects who are evolving at the moment, and we are still reaching out behind like the early 16s, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Let me jump into Janice's segment here. Just explain the following. I based my prediction on human nature.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I figured how long is going to take people to run the math to understand the following. There's only 21 million Bitcoins.
Yeah.
17 million have been mined. There's only 3 million to go, and that's going to take many years.
Yeah, like 120.
We've already lost 7 million Bitcoin.
Ouch.
And every day we're losing 3 times as many as we mine.
Oh, nice. So
if you run this to the end, there's going to be 1 Bitcoin that's worth $4 trillion. Okay, so my estimate was based on the fact, okay, it takes people 2 fucking years to realize the truth of anything.
Yeah.
And somebody's going to go, good God Almighty, they're losing Bitcoins faster than they're mining Bitcoins.
Yeah.
When that happens, you're going to see Bitcoin go through the roof. And I think summer to fall of next year is when that will happen. And I don't care if Bitcoin's only $50 in June, it's going to be $1 million in December. I'm just saying, this is
we have also the halvening.
Sorry?
We have also the halvening next year.
Yes, they have.
Bitcoin halvening.
Yeah, that's not going to do much. I really don't think so. Okay, I was, keep in mind, I was the CEO of MGT, the third or fourth largest miner in the world at the time. You know, we had 6,000 S9s running in a facility in Washington State. I mean, that's a lot of fucking machines generating. You know, our electricity bill was millions of dollars a month. So I know about Bitcoin mining. And what was the question? I'm sorry. It doesn't matter. All I'm saying is when people wake up to the fact that 3 things are happening. Bitcoin usage is expanding.
Yes.
The number of Bitcoins is diminishing.
Yes.
Please, God, who in their right mind cannot see $1 million somewhere within the next couple of years?
Nobody.
Yeah, apparently. Okay.
So I don't know if you remember it, but when 2017 reached its peak, most of the Dutch crypto people stepped in also, and you had like a thing here, and it was called the Crypto Starter Pack. You had like coins like Verge, Redcoin, Dogecoin, even for example. That was the starter pack for the beginners in crypto. What would the starter pack looks like today?
The starter pack. Your starter pack. Remember you tweeted about your starter pack for people coming into the space. So you had like Vergecoin, Dogecoin. You know, what does your starter pack look like?
I wouldn't call it a starter pack. And you mentioned Dogecoin, by the way, which is a very odd anomaly. You know, it's a joke, right? And yet it's got a market cap of what, over $1 billion? I mean, but please. So that goes to show you that anything is possible.
Anything.
No space, right? Because really, it has nothing to do with the fact that it was originally a joke. What it has to do with is how many people are using it?
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
Lots of people. So who cares if it was a joke?
And it's got a
Oh,
doggy.
And
It's
it's
got
got
a
a doggy in it.
Janet, we both like dogs. That's not the reason that I
I
like
saw it, yes.
It's because of people like me why Doge is even a real thing now.
Yeah,
It's
so-
got a doggy. It's cute.
My starter pack today would be privacy coins because let's talk frankly about Ethereum and Bitcoin and a few others. Okay, the populace. If you send me some Bitcoins,
Mhm.
or I send you some for whatever, let's say I charged you $10 to do this interview, and so you sent me $10 in Bitcoin.
Yes.
I could now go in and look at your fucking wallet
Yeah.
and find out how much Bitcoins you have,
Yeah.
and what's coming in and what's going out, and from whom and to whom. Well, if your bank did that, if your plumber came to your house to fix your sink and you wrote him a check for $40 and he went to the bank and said, yeah, I just got this check. Can you tell me how much money he has? And the bank goes, yeah, 1 second. He's got $49,100. Really? Would you please inform me the next time he writes a check, and to whom, please, and for how much? And if anything comes into his account, I want to know right away. And the bank goes, yeah, of course, sure. Would you be happy?
Yeah.
You would be happy if
No,
that.
of course not. But it's the reality.
This is what Bitcoin and Ethereum are, all right?
Yeah.
It's not going to fly. It's going to fly for a store of value or for those things you really don't care if everybody knows, but it's not going to fly. What will fly is Monero, for example, where if you sent me some Monero, there is no power on earth that's going to find out that you did. And there's no power on earth that I can use to find out what's in your Monero wallet. Now, you tell me, as a new user, which one are you going to choose?
Yeah, Monero, of course.
Of course. So privacy coins would be the starter pack for 2020. All right. Get real, people. Let's all be honest with each other.
Maybe stable coins as well. Privacy
and well, stable coin. But listen, you can't invest in a stable coin. I mean, it's never going to go up. You're never going to make any money unless, hang on, there are people who play DAI.
Yes.
Yeah.
They wait till it gets up to $1 and almost a penny, and they sell.
Yeah.
And when it gets down to 99 cents and maybe a penny, and then they buy. Okay. But seriously, I mean, those are day traders of extreme variety. I mean, because they've got to pay fees and all kinds of other shit. So, I mean, you're just squeezing out a barely living by doing that. So no. And so privacy coins, yes, but not to invest in. To explain to them that privacy coins are your go-to when you don't know what to do. Oh my God, what's going to happen? Move it all into DAI or an equivalent. I don't care. I'm not trying to promote DAI because it wouldn't make any sense. They can't pay me anything because I can't pump it. Right? So now, yes, privacy coins as your go-to when shit hits the fan, or I want to take a vacation. I want to dump everything. It's just like I want to cash out.
Yeah.
Cashing out in crypto needs to mean moving to a stable coin. Yeah. And so yes, stable coins and, as you said, the privacy coins. Next question should be for Janice. I've sucked into it. Yes, I have.
Well, I've got one last question for both of you. A funny question. Do you have something to say to the Dutch community who are watching right now?
To the Dutch community?
Yes.
Yes.
Say to the Dutch.
But yeah, well, why doesn't anybody from Amsterdam invite me to a party? I mean,
We love to. We love to.
That's all I can say. I mean, Amsterdam is Dutch, I hope, yes.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
No, I would say the same to everybody, no matter where you are. Hold the line.
Hold the line.
Not do not buy into, because I promise you, the Dutch government, along with the American government, every government will eventually develop their own coin as a safety mechanism, hopefully, to prevent the leakage of income taxes that they're not getting from everybody else using other coins. Do not buy into it. Even if, as in India, they've made, you can't own Bitcoin in India. You can't sell it. You can't deal with it. Nothing. Did it stop any Indian? No. In America, and probably well, certainly not in, okay, not where you are, but where I am in America and other parts of the world, smoking weed has been illegal for 75 years.
Yeah, I know.
And severe penalties.
Yes.
Did it stop anybody? No. People just kept on smoking it. It's the same thing here. It doesn't matter what the law says. If it can't be enforced, it's no law.
No.
That's what I will leave you with.
Yes. Well,
and I would say hodl, but also spend them.
Spend it.
Use it.
Maybe choose something like a stable coin, like DAI, and use it as much as you can, as often as you can. That way you get yourself familiar with the technology, you get your friends and family familiar with the technology, but then you also have a supply where you hold, and you wait and you invest.
Yes.
So that would be my advice. Okay.
Good woman. My wife is the bomb. I'd like to say that.
Yeah, I see it. And that's why I introduced her also to this interview. It's lovely. Well, for the people who missed it, I can't imagine that they did. But if you use the McAfeeDex, we will give away Ether to use it even more. So keep in touch with our socials. Otherwise, we are giving away Phantasma tokens. Also, I just read we give away like $300 on ETH and Phantasma. So thank you for watching. Thank you for your time, Janice. Thank you for your time, John. And
Thank you, Robert, for having us.
I've enjoyed it. I think Janice has.
Yes. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think much more than you also. Well, can we stay in touch for the upcoming event?
Yes, of course.
McAfeeDex.
We'll come on, and you've been very polite. You've been gracious. Anytime you want us to come on, email the boss. That's Janice. Yes. and tell her you want us to come on, and we will. She'll sketch it. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
It'll be our pleasure. Thank you.
Right.
Well, have a great day, both of you.
Thank you, and you as well.
See each other again in the future.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.